It may very well be that I have the audacity to go against millennia of spiritual teaching. What an audacity on the renegade's part. There is this thing, this belief being circulated and perpetrated and propagated in the spiritual community that we have a false ego, that we have a false self. And I am so bold to say that that is inaccurate. That's an inaccurate perception and awareness. And I will tell you where that idea comes from. Usually, the majority of the teachings come from men, spiritual teachers, ascended masters, males, men, masculine people, right? And because a man naturally is more wired to be logical and not so connected to the feminine part, the soul part, the feeling part. A man will come up with a logical, rational principle and teaching that bypasses the feeling aspect, because the man hasn't done the shadow work. A man usually is not as inclined to do shadow work because he's not consciously aware of the subconscious soul aspect. And so the logical mind will take this aspect, this self-sabotaging aspect of ego, and call it a false self, because it is bringing, it's causing damage to the self-image. It's causing damage to the way we express. But it's only causing damage because the shadows are not being addressed. The trauma in the subconscious is not addressed. So we got this teaching vilifying the ego and calling it a false self because of what men have felt unconsciously to be a discomfort. How can I get rid of this discomfort? How can I suppress this ego exposing my shadows? It makes me look bad, right? And so they come up with rational teachings and doctrines of how to bypass the subconscious, and telling the ego, telling the stepchild, you're not really part of this family, so I'm going to put you, I'm going to disown you, right? I'm going to malign you. I do not claim ownership of you. You do not exist. What we are essentially doing is taking our shadows and exiling them, partitioning them off. And then we tell ourselves, that aspect of me is not real. I'm telling you, That's another illusion. And why can I speak on this with any authority? Because I have gone through the trouble of feeling my shadows, feeling my trauma, identifying my trauma, and owning my trauma, owning my shadows, and understanding how the shadows were created in the first place, and understanding why ego is defensive, why ego will defend itself to the death, because you need ego. Without ego, you die. You need personality. You need self-expression. Without that, your spark dies. I made another video about the right-hand path and giving up your will. But your spark dies. Instead of disowning ego, we have to integrate ego. And then ego becomes a wonderful partner, a wonderful ally. There's nothing false about your self-awareness. There's nothing false or an illusion about yourself. Your self got fragmented and you have to figure out how to unify it again. It's not done by denying the ego or calling it a false self. It's your shadow self. And you have to integrate it. And when you integrate it, when you receive it, embrace it with total acceptance, like you would a neglected stepchild. Make it part of the family. And that stepchild is going to become your best support. That stepchild is going to become your best friend. Right? So I am going against thousands of years of spiritual teaching, because my personal experience has proven it to be otherwise. We don't have to deceive ourselves with the illusion of a false ego. There is only one ego. There is only one self. Don't put any more fragments into the shadow, and don't speak disparagingly about your ego, because you're speaking disparagingly about yourself, about an aspect of yourself. Don't fool yourself. Love yourself. Love your shadows. Integrate them. Bring your stepchildren home, and then you can live a fully vibrant, sparkly, energized self-life. I know people are afraid of the word self. When it's integrated, when it's whole, it's the most amazing awareness. It's the most amazing consciousness. So, yes, the renegade is going to defy and dispel thousands of mystical teachings if they are, in fact, not correct. I am my own truth, and I stand by my own truth, and I share it so that you can upgrade. You can upgrade